current fleet of attack submarines are coming to the end of their working lives, and the Royal Navy are desperate to get their hands on this new class. One of the world's most technologically advanced machines, they pack weaponry, life support, and all the sensitive equipment a submarine needs to operate, including a nuclear reactor that will power its engine for 25 years and never need refueling.
It's whole. We've got a few more units to weld together, and the fourth submarine is at the moment in a series of units being outfitted. So you can look around the site here and see from first rolling the steel to actually operating the systems and preparing to go to sea.
Any health and safety issues from the day before, any communication...
Stitches so the piece parts will fall out. They all go where they need to be built in the right time.
The steel that makes the hull is shaped and rolled until the massive sections are completed. Peel away the special coating and the pressure hull is simply a watertight tube capped at both ends with tanks that fill with water to help it dive and surface. And finally, there's a fin section on top. The hull is made of 8 separate steel sections, each around 11 meters in diameter. The boat is 97 meters long and when finished weighs 7,400 tons. At 260 meters long, 58 meters wide and 51 meters tall, this building is one of Britain's biggest sheds.
This is the DDH, which stands for Devonshire Dock Hall. The submarines are built in here because it's where all the top secret stuff is, where people can't see, so it's housed and it's hidden. It's where the magic happens, I suppose.
The Astute is the first class of British submarine in which sections are worked on vertically. This allows easy access for the team before the section is turned the right way up, or shipwise.
My job's just a second set of eyes, just to make sure that everything's running smoothly. Because I'm the appointed person, if anything goes wrong, it's me that gets it in the neck. We're at a critical stage now of this turn, where we've transferred the weight of the unit onto the mobile crane. The mobile crane is holding the load. We're now going to de-rig the shop crane and re-rig it onto these eye plates on this lower side of the unit. It's a critical point now. If either of these two cranes fail, well, I wouldn't like to be standing here, I'll put it that way.
A submarine packs in 3 times more machinery and equipment than any surface ship. But most of the back of the boat is taken up with the nuclear reactor, the engine, and all the different backup systems. Today, Boat 3 is taking shape, as some of her biggest sections are being moved into position. Submarines take on water to help them dive, and a lot of it comes into the streamlined 270-ton forward end construction. This unit also houses the submarine's sonar equipment. Active sonar works by emitting a pulse of sound, and then calculates the amount of time it takes to hit an object and bounce back, which determines the distance. But the Astute will normally use passive sonar, which simply listens to the sea to detect and identify objects. It's claimed this technology is sensitive enough to hear a boat leaving New York Harbour from Southampton. The other end of the submarine is capped with the after end construction. Weighing in at around 230 tons, this also takes on water when the submarine dives and houses the mechanisms that control the submarine's rudder and propeller shaft.
The two team what I've got have been working together for over 20 odd years, so they know the system inside out. I mean, we're used to a lot heavier. You're used to something like 600 ton putting together against another unit. This is a baby.
One of the biggest and most complicated areas of the submarine is the command deck, the nerve centre of the boat, built as a separate module in another part of the shipyard. The command deck module is 22 metres long and weighs 180 tons. It contains the navigational controls, sonar, communications and weapons systems. The captain's cabin is on the top deck, while the second deck is where food is prepared and the crew eat, sleep and relax.
We put all the combat system together here, make it talk to each other, and then the CDM gets fleeted from here down to the submarine and inserted back in the submarine. This is called the sonar cab space. Various equipment's in here, the processing for the sonars, for the networks, for the command systems. I'll show you the sound room. This is where the sonar sets are. This is all the command system now. All the sonars and all the other equipment's on board pass all their information across to these desks. Okay, carrying on aft. This is the commanding officer's cabin. Again, at the moment it's pretty bare. The captain is the only man on board who has a cabin to himself. He's the sole occupant of this one. This is the lower deck of the CDM, which is mainly accommodation. There's 19 bunks in this space, quite cramped, but nothing different to what submariners are used to and have been used to for many years. When I was in the Navy, all we had was a bunk light. Nowadays they have iPod chargers, they have all sorts. Okay, coming to the after end of the command deck now, we have both the junior rates and the senior rates messes. This is where they live when they're off watch as well. And the final compartment is the galley, or the kitchen. It's got every possible modern convenience. Everything. I don't know, it's got more than my kitchen has. There's a little bit of finishing off still to do, but we're not far off completion, whereby this will then be transported down to the DDH and slotted into the submarine.
Once the units are fully fitted out, they can be joined together. Boat 2 is ready to be outfitted. The vessel will eventually contain over 1 million components, which includes 23,000 pipes and over 100 kilometres of electrical cabling. Once in the wet dock, the submarine can be fine-tuned and finished. The weapons storage department, or torpedo room, is where weapons are loaded, stored and fired from. The Astute is armed with spearfish torpedoes that have a range of over 65 kilometres and weigh 2 tons each, and Tomahawk cruise missiles, able to accurately hit targets more than 1,000 kilometres inland. However, as an attack submarine, the Astute is not built to carry the controversial Trident missile system. Today, the crew are engaging in a wargame exercise to test that all the equipment is talking to each other correctly.
Valid active contact, weapon 2.
Officers and all sorts, hold port, stand by, bring tensions, conduct the attack on this contact. Everybody stand reports.
Once free of shallow water, the tugs will depart and her reactor will take over, silently powering the Astute through the ocean.